Mario and Zelda, Halo and Ninja Gaiden, Katamari and Homestuck? With so many crossovers, how can you tell what's canon and what might as well be fanfiction? That's what I'm figuring out today with Canon Welding. Before I begin, I'd like to set a few rules I'll be following to determine what is or is not canon, just to keep things consistent. Number 1. Every crossover has to be approved by the owners of the respective properties. As an example, yes, you can find Metroids in StarCraft 2. No, this doesn't mean that Samus is going to fight Zerglings in her next game. This Easter egg was added solely by Blizzard without input from Nintendo, making this a one-sided crossover. Number 2. Remakes retcon the original. Another example. If you played Soul Calibur 2 for the GameCube, Link was an optional character. This edition was okayed by Nintendo, making it possible, though unlikely, that this could be canonical. However, in the 2013 re-release of the game, Link was omitted, destroying any chance of canonicity. And last, not so much a rule as it is a warning, but expect spoilers. In order for me to determine if two canons can intermingle, I might have to spoil certain major plot points. Things like it was all a dream, time travel, multiple universes, etc. Generally, if a game's title is mentioned, it would be safe to assume there will be spoilers for it in that episode. So where should we start but with the biggest icon in video games, Super Mario? To begin, let's look at the history of the Mario series. Being in over 200 games over the course of 35 years, listing every game he's been in chronological order would take up more time than I have. But here's a quick glance at a timeline I put together. As you can see, it's really long, but it's not too complicated. It's nearly in sequential order, with a few exceptions. To start, the Yoshi's Island series takes place shortly after Mario's birth, which would place it at the beginning of the timeline. And we also have the Paper Mario series, which takes place in its own separate world within a book in the Mushroom Kingdom, which was revealed in Mario & Luigi Paper Jam. The biggest timeline issue, however, is the ending of Super Mario Galaxy. In the final moments of Galaxy, a black hole is created that consumes the entire universe. However, the Lumas from the game sacrifice themselves and create a brand new universe in its place. This new universe has a few different events though, with Mario Galaxy 2 occurring in place of the original. As seen by the Toad Brigade acting as if you'd never met, and the Star Festival, an event that only happens once every 100 years, happening at the beginning of both games. So what series would I combine with Mario? Why not with another of Nintendo's staples, The Legend of Zelda? The Zelda timeline has been discussed and argued by fans ever since the release of Ocarina of Time. The ending of Ocarina involves a scene where Link travels back in time to prevent most of the game from occurring. This sparked a debate as to whether this rewrote the events of the game completely and continued linearly, or if it split off and both timelines continued. Well, in 2013, Nintendo put both theories to rest by releasing an official timeline that split it off into 3 different branches. Skyward Sword kicks off the entire timeline by showing the creation of Hyrule. Then the Minish Cap and Four Sword follow. Ocarina of Time then splits off 3 ways. Once where Link dies during the climax, which is called the Downfall timeline. One continuing from when Link is sent back in time and is still a child. And a third following the universe Link left as an adult. Link's death leads us into A Link to the Past and its many sequels, the Oracle series, Link's Awakening, A Link Between Worlds, and then finally Triforce Heroes. Which is then followed by the original Legend of Zelda and its sequel, The Adventure of Link. The second timeline, following the child timeline, includes Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and Four Sword Adventures. And the third adult timeline follows the Toon Link series of Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks. Timeline's a little more complicated than Mario's, but how well can they mix? In the Mario franchise, Link, or rather one version of Link, has made a few appearances. Once resting at an inn in Super Mario RPG, once as a racer in Mario Kart 8, where Hyrule also made an appearance, and once more in Donkey Kong Country 2 as part of Cranky Kong's video game Heroes board. Although that one's probably not canon. It's pretty fourth wall breaking. The Zelda series has also had quite a few connections to Mario, going all the way back to the very first game. According to the Japanese manual for The Legend of Zelda, the Manhandla boss is actually just a large piranha plant. On top of this, Chain Chomps appear as enemies in A Link to the Past, and both Lakitu and Bob-ombs appear in the Minish Cap. Mario's portrait can be found in A Link to the Past, and Wart, the primary antagonist of Super Mario Bros. 2, even makes an appearance in Link's Awakening. Which kind of brings up some problems. You see, Super Mario Bros. 2 is said to take place in a world called Subcon, which has been taken over by Wart. However, at the end of the game, this is revealed to all be in Mario's dream. Likewise, Link's Awakening is also revealed to be a dream, just not Link's. The island Link has been adventuring on is shown to be a dream of an ocean deity named the Windfish, and when the Windfish awakes, the dream ends. So, was Subcon actually a dream, or was it just a creation of the Windfish that both Mario and Link somehow tapped into? Outside of the Mario and Zelda series, Link actually raced with Mario 23 years before Mario Kart 8 in the Game Boy game F1 Race, where different characters from both series appear to congratulate the player after certain courses. Finally, while there is one other series that both franchises have been present in, I'm choosing to ignore it because it's just too easy, and has also been stated to be a separate world entirely. So, it appears very likely that the two series inhabit the same universe, and it's possible that Hyrule and the Mushroom Kingdom are even on the same planet. There's nothing that directly contradicts either universe, and the amount of connections between the two is rather large. But to merge the two timelines, however, we have to deal with the scales involved. The Zelda timeline is over the course of tens of thousands of years, while the Mario series is just one generation. Given that Hyrule exists at the time of Mario Kart 8, we can place it after Skyward Sword. And with Mario's portrait in A Link to the Past, Mario had to have achieved some level of fame before that. This leaves us with somewhere between Skyward Sword and A Link to the Past. And with Wart's appearance in Link's Awakening, I'm more inclined to believe that the Mario series is concurrent with the A Link to the Past era. This would give us these possible options for our timeline. That's as far as I can get this time, but tell me your theories in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to see what crossovers I'll go over next.